So your credit score is hovering around the 700 range and you're trying to get up there to the 800s, 850s, and you don't know how to get there. I'm going to give you some clear instruction on how to get there in 30 days coming up. Hey, if you missed my live credit score boost training, don't worry, I got you. If you click the boost training link below, you'll be able to take part in that live training. Now, this training is for those of you that work long, hard days, and then you come home and you struggle trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing to fix your credit. You don't know what to pay off and what not to pay off, what to dispute and what not to dispute, and you definitely don't know what you did wrong to make your score drop instead of increase. Now, what you'll learn by taking part in the training is my account identification process, which has saved my customers on average about $5,000 by not paying off accounts that would actually drop your credit score. I'm also going to share with you some accounts that have guaranteed approval, so you don't have to worry about if you'll get approved or denied, and these same accounts have helped my clients on average gain about 30 to 80 points. I'm also going to share with you my dispute process that I use that has given me an average account removal rate of about 13 accounts over a 90-day period. And not to mention, those of you that stay all the way to the end of the training, you're going to get a free gift which will help you with your credit disputing process. So if you're tired of going around in circles with your credit trying to figure out what to do, go ahead and click the link below for the boost training. I'll see you there. Hey everybody, Will Frazier here, your credit expert, bringing you the tips you need to get your credit back on track, because what goes down must come up. And if you want your credit score to drop 100 points, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified of any new videos I drop just like this. Okay, so today we are talking about getting to that illustrious 800, 850 credit score and how to get there, especially if you've been kind of stuck where you are in the 700s and you don't really know what to do to get there. This is also going to apply if you're anywhere else and you're trying to get to that 800 credit score mark. But first, I wanted to let you know that getting to the 800, 850 credit score mark where everybody wants to be isn't really all that necessary, but I know a lot of people want to get there. Getting beyond an 800 credit score is almost equivalent to being that person who's already physically fit, but you just want to have those extra buff expanded muscles that make you look like you're super strong, even though they may not necessarily give you the extra strength. It just makes you look like you are extra strong. And the reason behind that is because as far as credit goes, it's supposed to be used to be able to get you lending options like getting a house, getting a car, and getting a low rate so that you can borrow money at a low cost and still be able to get whatever you need. Now, by the time you get to about a 750 credit score, you're really not gonna have anything to worry about in those areas. You would already have checked all those boxes. So really getting beyond that doesn't really do a whole bunch for your ability to use your credit score for what it was designed to be used for. The only thing that it will do is give you some extra cushion just in case something negative does happen. Instead of your credit score going from, say 750 to, 600 something, you may go from 850 to, 800 or maybe a high 7 if something negative happened to your credit score. So really, it only provides an extra cushion, but still, I know this is a goal that a lot of people have. So let's talk about how to get there. The very first thing that I'm going to tell you need to do is stop applying for credit for at least a year. The reason why you want to stop applying for credit for a year is because that credit score is based upon how perfect you are in use of credit, and perfect is in regards to how the algorithm considers credit to be perfect or your use of credit to be perfect. One of those factors is not applying for a bunch of credit. So not having any inquiries on your credit report for at least a year is going to be something that's going to help you in order to get to that 800 goal. Now, the second thing I'm going to tell you to do is make sure you have low utilization on all of your credit cards or revolving lines of credit that report on your credit report. And when I say that, you probably want to stay under 30% credit utilization, and that's your balance versus your credit limit. Ideally, you kind of want to stay under 10%, but you still want to make sure you have some type of balance, but you want to keep your credit utilization low. Now, some ways you can do this is, of course, if you have high balances on your credit cards, you want to pay them down as soon as possible, and you can see a difference in your credit score as soon as 30 days from that happening. And again, you want to pay that down to at least under 30%, ideally under 10% of the credit limit. Now, when it comes to paying down the balances, you want to make sure that you are paying the balances off before the statement date arrives, because whatever is on the statement as far as your balance goes, that's what's going to be reported to the credit bureau. So you want to make sure that you're paying them down in a timely manner in regards to the statement date. If you don't know what the statement date is, you can call your lender, your credit card company, and you can find out when they generate the statement, and then you'll know when you need to pay. Another thing you can do to decrease your credit limits is to actually call your creditors that you have credit cards or lines of credit with and ask them to increase your line of credit. By doing this, it can help dramatically lower your utilization because you didn't have to pay anything down, but you still increase the credit limit. And like I said, it is a percentage based on how much of the balance you use of that credit limit. So increasing the limit can definitely help you to lower your utilization. Now, another thing that you can do to lower your utilization would be, of course, applying for new credit cards and whatnot, but that can lower the average age of your credit report. So you probably won't want to do that as much, but it can be something to do to build up your arsenal of credit limits and get higher limits, and it will give you a higher overall credit limit so that your overall credit utilization can be a little bit easier to maintain. So that would be the benefit of doing that. And another thing that you can do is be added as an authorized user on somebody that you know, a family member or friend's credit card. Now, doing that can not only add extra credit limits, which can lower your utilization, it can also add age to your credit report based on how old that account is. And of course, it's better to get added as an authorized user on an account that is older. Now, keep in mind that you want to make sure that their utilization is low on that credit card. Make sure they don't have any late payments on that credit card, because that can negatively impact you and actually hold you back from getting to that 800 credit score range. And I also tell people just to be mindful that with those authorized user accounts, at any point in time, that person can go out and go on a shopping spree, and then it can significantly impact your credit, and you won't have as much control on getting that balance down as you would if it was your own credit card. And also, when you're trying to apply for some things like a mortgage or a car, they may look in more detail at your credit report, and they may not acknowledge those authorized user accounts because they want to see that you've been building up credit on your own and not just piggybacking off of somebody else's good use of credit. Now, another thing that you want to have is you want to have a thick credit file when you're trying to get to the 800s. Some people can have a high credit score and it can be what I would consider artificial because it's really kind of fluff. They have used credit good, but they may only have one account, and that's what's generating a good score. And it doesn't have a whole lot of substance behind it because they haven't used multiple accounts to show that they're good, but the algorithm is still giving them a good score based on their good use of one account. And a lot of lenders, they want to see that you have used multiple accounts in order to really solidify that you are a good person to lend money to. And not only that, of course, that helps get you to the score that you would want to be to as well. And you would have a better chance of using that score to get approved if you don't have a artificially inflated just from one account. Of course, having that thicker credit file with more useful information and having an 800 credit score generated off that will be more useful to you when you're actually applying to get things. And with that, you also want to attack the credit mix, which is having different types of credit. You don't want to just use credit cards. You also want to have usage of credit loans on your credit report as well. So actually using those to build up your credit will be very helpful to you. I tell people to usually stick around one, maybe two, just depending on what you have going on. Almost everybody's going to have a car loan, but having a personal loan doesn't hurt as well. But keep in mind, when you pay off loans, they can drop your score, and of course initially when you get them. But it helps you more if you've never had one before on your credit report. But you definitely want to have a different mix of accounts on your credit report to help get to that 800 score range and make that score useful as far as adding into the activity of your credit file, showing that you can manage different types of credit. Now, another thing that you want to do when you are on the road to getting to that 800 is you want to make sure that you are maxing out all 3 credit bureaus with all these things that you're doing. Now, when I say that, I'm saying that because you don't want to have only an 800 credit score on TransUnion or Equifax. You want to have one on all 3, because whenever you do go to apply for something, you never know which bureau that place may check. And if you're trying to get a house, they definitely check all 3. So you want to make sure that all of the efforts that you're doing to build up credit are hitting all 3 credit bureaus. And if you're trying to get a house, at the very least 2 bureaus, because like I said, they will check 3, and in most instances they go with the middle score. So if you have at least 2 scores, to a certain level or higher, then that's what they're going to be looking at. Now, the next thing that you want to do while you're trying to get to that 800 credit score is you want to dispute any inaccurate, untimely, unverifiable information on your credit report. The reason why you want to do this is because if you have any accounts that are like this, then you can actually see a boost to your credit score by getting that negative information removed from the credit report. And of course, this will take you going through your credit report with a fine-tooth comb and identifying which items are like that so that you can try to dispute them. And again, it can be very beneficial to your credit score to help get you up in situations where you may need extra points in order to get up there to the 800 range. And again, the 800 credit score range is all about being very perfect with your credit and your use of credit. So having collections and charge-offs on your credit report are definitely going to hold you back from being able to get there. And also, you want to settle accounts. Now, initially, when you're trying to pay off something on your credit report that is a negative or old closed account, it can cause your credit score to drop. But again, you have to make your credit report look as perfect as possible in order to be able to get to the 800 score range. So that might be a temporary bullet that you'll have to bite just in order to be able to make sure that you can, after that, get to the 800 score range. And any accounts that you see that you can't deal with as far as disputing, then those are the accounts that you want to try to go ahead and settle out and make sure that you don't have anything negative reporting on your credit report. And of course, you also want to make sure that you have no late payments on your credit report at all. Late payments on your credit report can severely tank your score. So by making sure that you don't have any within the last 2 years, that is going to definitely help you get to that 800 score. Now, hopefully that information was useful and it's going to get you to where you need to be. If you need more information on working on your credit and how to get your score up, I'm going to link a playlist that should help you out. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time.